Hey everyone, I'm Nikki, and that's Flossie. And we just got done recording for our podcast, The Assumption Effect. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. The Assumption Effect on all major streaming podcast channels and on YouTube. We will link it in the video below. Today, we wanted to talk about our newest course. It's called the Manifestation Masterclass, where we're going to cover absolutely everything. It's the last manifestation class, the only manifestation class you will ever freaking need.
I actually almost like to think of it as the boot camp on some steroids. So, Nikki and I have been talking about this and we've been thinking about doing it for together for a long time. Like you guys know that I would do a boot camp where I would do an intensive class with a Q&A session, and then it would have like a month of accountability with me and some sort of Facebook group. Well, we're not only going to do that, but we're doing it together. It's also going to include some of Nikki's biofeedback to help you have, a better mindset during the whole thing, as well as you just, I believe, pay for your shipping for the Assumption Effect journal that is 90 days worth of you learning how to check in with yourself with some of the information that you would report to us on a nearly daily basis, space for writing your FU letter that you can tear out. And then for those of you who are going to write a command letter, there's spots to write the command letter. And so, you're going to have initially a bunch of videos that are going to explain a lot of things manifestation from A to Z, as well as worksheets to help you to get clear on what you want, to figure out what you want, to figure out what your routine is actually like, how you think that it's working for you. So it's going to be a lot of self-reflection. Then a ton of information. Then you're going to have a Q&A live with us both. I think it also includes, was it also including the VIP group?
No, we're just doing the group.
Yeah, it's the Facebook group where, you'll check in, you'll be able to ask like a question there if you have something that's really pressing on you, or if you want to know how to handle something in the 3D. So it's getting group coaching, but in some real time. Now, it's not necessarily like you post something and then within 5 minutes you're answered, but it's something that like typically within that day, within 24 hours, you'd get some sort of acknowledgement where we would acknowledge your accountability and how you're doing. And if you had a question or something to that effect, you'd get that question answered. So I look at it as a form of real time group coaching. And a lot of people love the support. The people who've done the boot camp with me in the past really felt like it kicked them into gear. It gave them a routine, accountability, and they were able to quite often continue that on their own and get what they want. So it really helped them to understand manifesting and the principles and why they're doing what they're doing. And then it had, the accountability piece so that they could form a daily habit and start to enjoy affirming, get used to affirming, get used to having thoughts in line with their manifestation. And I would say that many people would join the boot camp with a mental diet of about a 3 to a 5, and they would end the boot camp. Well, within the first week to 2 weeks, most of them were up significantly, like around, a 7 to 8. And then by the time the boot camp was over, a lot of them were consistently felt like they're between like an 8 and a 9. Some people felt like they were consistently like a 10 on their mental diet by the time it was over with. They felt the feeling better about manifesting alone, and then just understanding manifestation better was worth it, let alone all the accountability and support that they got from members. In fact, some people find manifestation buddies in there.
Now, the crash courses that Flossie and I typically do after the boot camps have also been very successful and have had a lot of great reviews and success stories. So that's why we decided to combine the two. So you'll be getting everything you would normally get with the crash course and the boot camp, and then some. You guys will be getting my biofeedback to also help you boost that mental diet, because the biofeedback, which I'll explain inside the course as well, you'll get a full month of that for free. If you're already with me on biofeedback, you will just get an additional free month or extra sessions if you choose. But you get one free session a week, which is a 30-minute one-on-one session where you get personalized biofeedback. What that does is it helps you formulate better thoughts, have a cleaner mental diet, and ultimately change your mindset so that you can manifest easier. Not that manifestation isn't easy on its own. It's just for those people that tend to keep getting stuck in a poor mindset or in the old story. So
And
we,
you You
Go
do
ahead.
get it. And they get a 30-minute call with me also.
Yes.
Um, which you'll get the biofeedback from Nikki, and then you will get the call with me, which is awesome.
Yep. So you're getting a lot of different things, plus daily, almost daily accountability from both of us in the Facebook group and being able to ask your questions and getting on the live with us for the Q&A after the courses.
Um, I think that it's going to be great because you're getting like essentially two of us almost for the price of one.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And I
Yep.
know a lot of you love the biofeedback. Nikki's gotten a lot of uh success from that. People love it. They feel like their mental diet just seems to be so much easier with using that. And it's just a tool. Like, we Nikki and I use a handful of tools, and some people are like, well, that's 3D stuff. And it's like, well, you have to keep in mind that we live in the 3D and we have a lot of assumptions based on the 3D. So why not use some of the assumptions that we already hold in our favor? And so that's one of the reasons why we do some of the things that we do is we recognize a lot of the generalized assumptions people have, and we do things that use those assumptions in everyone's favor because you're not going to change every single assumption that you've ever had your entire life. I mean, most people don't. We're
Exactly.
still probably going to have some of those base assumptions of like how our mind works, how our body works, and stuff like that. We can just use those assumptions to our advantage.
So we are limiting the spots on this because we don't want to be bombarded in the group with 100 people. So go ahead and we will go ahead and sign up for it as soon as you can. I believe there's payment options through Affirm and something else at checkout. I don't know if it's available in your country. You'll just have to go on and see, but we will link it below. And we hope to see you guys there.
It's going to be awesome. You don't want to miss it. And you get your journal.
Yeah, which is awesome. I love journals. So we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.